Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is May 15th, 2017, and today is Monday morning. So looking at economic events of the day, not really much coming up on the horizon today, but we do have a Prime Minister May will be speaking coming out of Great Britain. So that may shake or make the markets a little bit, but let's look at what's happening and what we left off the week last week. So we're starting here with the EURUSD. As you can see, we're almost back to those 110 levels, almost 109.30 right here. We're just below the support level, which is maybe a subsequent resistance line. Let's see how this unfolds. So we held this 108.70 line, which we spoke about last week, which would be a very good spot to actually pick it up. Now we're at the top of the range. I'd like to see some sort of continuation. Maybe we'll have a pullback, and if we do to 109.12, maybe a good place to pick it up on the upside. So far we're trading between these two points, this upper range and this lower range, 108.70, 109.30. So it is a tight range. It's a 60 pip range, but there is money to be made within these two levels. So as long as you're buying the top of the move, as long as you're buying the bottom of the move, selling the top of the move, you'll be doing okay. Now what's been going on with the GBPUSD, just below the support line of 129.26, this level, as you can see here, we're just below it. It's sort of like the same thing as the EURUSD. We've been trading within this, upper and lower limit of 129.91 and 129.26. Now these are two points that are really important, resistance and support level. Now we breached it and we came back down to 128.44, which would have been our subsequent support line, as it's been a previous resistance line, as you can see here. Now we're trading, just below this, upper support limit. If we do continue and we do break out above this 14-day, we could really see it, going back to this 129 level. Now, what you have to keep in mind is if May does speak and she does provide some sort of indication where the markets are going, especially with, the aftermath of Brexit and the pending Brexit vote. So these things will be factored into the market. USD Japanese yen retraced a little bit from 114.32. I thought it'll hit all the way to 115.24. It didn't, but it's retraced a little bit. It had a beautiful run from 108 to 113. So that's a major move for the Japanese yen. Now, we're retraced a little bit. We still have, much more to retrace if we needed to retrace, but we're finding ourselves in different pivot points here for the Japanese yen. So I'd like to see some sort of, averaging out to 112.47, and then maybe we'll see a continuation to this 115-ish level. So this is a trend. This is, getting weaker. The Japanese yen is getting weakened towards the dollar. So this thing is, coming around. Looking at the Aussie USD, a big retracement last week down to 73.29, and we were finally bouncing off of that to 73.97 here. So, this thing has been weak. It's been weak ever since it broke this level, broke this upper level right here with the Fed rate decision. I believe it was last month already. So it's still weak. Okay, we mentioned that it was making lower highs, lower highs and lower lows, and finally it did break finally down to its pivot point right here. Now what I think we'll be doing is trading in this lower limit, and I think we'll need to find a new range that we'll be trading in. Looking at gold, finally bouncing from a debacle, retracing from 1300-ish level to 1221-ish level, and then finally bouncing it off. As you can see, we're finally bouncing at this 1231-ish level. I think, again, we'll be trading between this 1221, 1230, 46-ish level until we find some sort of impetus to take this higher. Historically, gold has always been a averse investment. When the markets are doing poorly, people usually head to gold to protect their assets from depreciating. Now what's happening is that the markets have been strong. Okay, so as the markets have gotten stronger, you see that gold has retraced tremendously over the past month. I would say. Okay, so it has retraced quite harshly. It might be if you're a long-term gold buyer, this might be a really good place to actually buy it. Okay, but I would like to see some sort of confirmation again at 1221 before I get heavy on it. So that's in terms of gold. Oil also bouncing back from last week's sell-off. Commodities were very, very weak last week. As you can see here, we're finally above this 46, 47-ish level and trading at 48.59. Now this has been also very, very choppy, very temperamental, very choppy. If you look at a weekly chart, the upper range was the 53-ish level, the lower range was this 45-ish level, and we were right smack in the middle of this. So, not much to say about it. It's pretty much what OPEC decides and pretty much how aggressive United States gets with its drilling. And as a result, the price has been really cheap. So, these are things you have to take into factor in long term. So I think we're going to be down here in the boondocks from 53 to 45 for quite a while. So keep an eye on that. Looking at the Dow Jones, last week we had a big sell-off to 20,777. You see that right here, and then we bounced right back, and we're trading at 20,871. What I think is happening is that the DAX is taking it up higher. Look at the DAX. The DAX is so strong. Every time it goes further down, it goes further up. Okay, we've had this massive breakout last week, obviously, into all-time highs. We retraced. We bounced up again. We didn't make a higher high, and then we, kind of churned a little bit, and finally challenging this 30-day average line. We never broke it, and then we continued coming back up. So the question is, do we have enough oomph at this level to continue this up? So we'll have to see how the week unfolds on this and see if we do break up even higher. So it's hard at these levels because it looks like it wants to go, but then it stops, and then it looks like it wants to go again, and then it stops. So it's hard to pick your spots here, but at retracements you could always pick your spots, especially if something is this strong. So keep an eye on this as this unfolds this week. This is Razak at CM Trading. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.